So is the Tea Party the new boogeyman? Today, Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer saying the Tea Party is the blame for the stalling economy. It's a Tea Party double-dip recession, Tea Party gridlock, Tea Party economics, extreme Tea Party fringe. My next guest says the Tea Party is not to blame. GOP Senator Mike Lee joins me now. Thank you for joining us, Senator. I'm hearing a lot of this. I'm seeing the Wall Street protests. I'm hearing the left saying, you know, the protesters, they're well-intentioned. It's like their version of the Tea Party. Tell us, are the Wall Street protesters the left, far left wing of the, or equivalent of the Tea Party?
You know, it's hard for me to speak with credibility on that point. I haven't attended any of their rallies, but I've attended countless Tea Party gatherings, and what I can tell you is they're about one thing, which is the federal government's gotten too big and too expensive. That's all it is. So it's interesting to me to hear people compare the two, but I have no frame of reference because I haven't attended any of those gatherings.
And Senator, the gatherings that you've attended, how many people were arrested?
Usually hundreds, sometimes thousands, sometimes tens of thousands.
Don't know how many were arrested at the Tea Party gatherings that you've attended?
Not one, to my knowledge, ever.
So, nor mine. So the Tea Party. Now, meanwhile, there have been several hundred arrested in New York. There was 100 arrested yesterday, I believe, in Boston. Yet Nancy Pelosi calls she at one point said, God bless the Wall Street protesters. What do you think when you hear the House Minority Leader say that about the protesters?
Well, look, she's got the right to express whatever she wants to express. And maybe there is some kind of message here in among these Wall Street protesters that I'm not hearing. To this point, I'm not aware of what their message is. The Tea Party, by comparison, has a very distinct message, which is federal government's too big and it's too expensive because Congress has been trying to do too many things.
Okay,
and
let's talk a little bit about the Tea Party. There are some that say it's not grassroots, it's more AstroTurf, funded by a big special interest. Is it?
No, absolutely not. I mean, look, we're talking about tens of millions of Americans who have simultaneously come to the same conclusion that there's a problem. And I've never met any Tea Party groups. I've never certainly met any Tea Party grassroots activists who are receiving corporate funding. So I really don't understand that charge. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't hold water.
All right, Congressman, I'm sorry, Senator, we got word that Mr. Obama now may be looking to go around Congress and get portions of his jobs bill, which failed the Senate yesterday, get portions of that enacted. What do you say to the president when he goes around your vote?
Well, look, if all he's saying is he's going to have it taken piecemeal, I'm fine with that. I'm happy to cast individual votes on individual components of that, even though that's originally not what he asked for. And in fact, he told us this isn't an a la carte menu. If he wants to go about it that way, I'll go about it that way. I don't see a lot in there I can support. If we're talking about corporate tax relief, about the fact that the president has acknowledged twice this year that we should not have the highest corporate tax rate in the world. I completely agree with him. If he wants to go and do something like that, he'll have my support.
But sir, I'm not sure that's what he said. I think the sound that I heard and watched the speech, what I heard was him saying we were going to get this done with or without congressional approval.
If that's what he means, I have a real problem with that. My copy of Article 1, Section 1, Clause 1 of the Constitution says that the legislative power of the United States shall be vested in Congress, which shall consist of a Senate and a House of Representatives. He can't just make the law on his own, much as he might like to assume otherwise. So if, in fact, that's what he's saying, I find that very disturbing.
All right, so where does it go from here? The $447 billion plan that was voted down, now apparently, tell us, does it go to the House? Does it get broken into pieces in the House and then come back to the Senate? What's the process?
Well, it's being broken into pieces. My understanding is that we're going to have a series of votes on some of those provisions in the Senate, and they may have some in the House as well. But I know that the Democrats in the Senate are planning to offer up pieces of the president's jobs plan in the Senate. We'll see where it goes from there.
And are there pieces that you're okay with?
Well, there are pieces that in some ways I might be okay with. There's a provision that deals with depreciation, with offering depreciation-based incentives for corporations to invest in capital equipment. If something like that's in there, and particularly if we can make it permanent, I could support that.
Could you support anything? Could you support anything with a tax increase attached to it?
Well, no. Look, as the president himself has acknowledged, a down economy is the very worst time to raise taxes, and I don't think anyone is credibly maintaining in this town that we need a tax rate increase. I think we need to lower the top marginal rates and eliminate loopholes.
Senator, we're going to have to leave it there. Senator Mike Lee, Republican from Utah. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.